Let's start with him, his so-called final press conference. He backed off his story about hacking an election, and suddenly it was reduced to a narrow lane, hacking of the DNC. What in the world is he doing?
You know, we really have never known what he's been doing. This is a man who has been saying from in the beginning, he said, if you'd have to be delusional to think that the election could be hacked when they thought Hillary was winning. We also have an NBC report that says that sources inside the White House said that he did not do anything about the hacking because they thought Hillary was going to win and they didn't want to risk a cyber war, which is, of course, already happening anyway. So talk about situational ethics. If the situation was going to benefit him, he would do nothing about it, even though it would harm the United States. This is a man, I think, who picks and chooses his excuses at the time based on what might sound good. And, of course, he's always come off sounding a little haggard in the meantime.
And, Daniel, he was halting, stammering throughout much of this press conference. His last and talking, it seemed endlessly, but it all amounted to a rationalization in everything he said of his own decisions, his own actions, whether it be with Putin in September, telling him to cut it out, which by his telling, Putin dutifully responded with quitting any kind of hacking. So why, if he quit hacking in September, is it a big deal in December?
Well, the whole press conference today was defensive. And by being defensive, in fact, he refuted John Podesta and Hillary Clinton, who were both blaming the Russian hacking and, you know, look, the FBI. And the FBI, excuse me. So they were blaming the FBI, the Russian hacking. Barack Obama defends the FBI today, which I thought was stunning. He didn't, it wasn't like a full frontal defense, but he was saying these guys are good people. They, you know, they know what they're doing.
Well, he needs them to support the CIA assessment of the
yeah, well, look, but it was still striking because I thought he refuted them as well, because he also said that the hacking and all these documents did not sway the election and had no bearing on the election itself, which is the Clinton campaign's other argument. So I thought, in a shocking way, he completely demolished their arguments. Of course, it was all in defense of himself. His only goal here is to defend himself because he doesn't want to look like the weak leader and the guy who resulted in Donald Trump being elected. He'd rather blame shift again and have it shift elsewhere. But it's stunning because it's a complete rebuke to what Hillary Clinton and John Podesta are saying.
And you know, Tammy, there's something just sad about a president who thinks he can talk his way into a legacy that is more positive than the one that obviously will result, which is devastating.
Yes, exactly. But for those donors at that party last night at the Plaza here in New York, wondering where the autopsy was, complaining that all they heard about was James Comey and the Russians, but the answer is right in front of their face. Her delusion, the fact that that is what she thinks. This is why they lost, the inability for her to connect with the American people, reality on its face, the commitment and the inclination to lie immediately, to blame others, no reflection, self-reflection. This is why they lost, and unless, and we heard it from the president, unless they get their act together and look in the mirror and realize that it's their agenda that we've rejected, it will be a bloodletting in 2018. The Republicans will sweep, and Donald Trump's agenda has got to be to make sure it's the right sort of Republican, actual conservatives who win in 2018 in the Senate. So we have a filibuster-proof majority there.
And, Daniel, we have a president-elect who is right now the president of the United States. I mean, he is leading the nation, frankly, not Barack Obama.
Yeah, look, Barack Obama's obviously, he's so weak. He's going off to Hawaii for 2 weeks. He's in the airplane right now. He's 1 month left of his presidency. 2 of those weeks he won't even be here in town. He's completely checked out. It's not, nothing is happening here. And look, Donald Trump is leading policy in many ways by taking phone calls from Taiwan and you know, the problem, though, of course, is he doesn't have any power, and so when this underwater drone gets taken in China, there's no real way to respond to it. Instead, we're sort of left flailing.
But obviously, imagine, Daniel and Mr. Dobbs, imagine when he does have actual power. The world is going to change for the better.
Well, he certainly has the power of the bully pulpit, and you're watching a country that is feeling a lot better right now, people who are feeling a lot better about themselves, and that's because of one Donald J. Trump. Daniel Halper, Tammy Bruce, thank you both for being with us here tonight.